Is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
The 2021-2022 UNI Athletics school year is over, and it's time to sit down and recap with head man David Harris, Athletic Director at UNI. And David, a lot of positives, obviously, from all of the Division I sports programs in the classroom, on the field of competition. What were some of the highlights that, as you reflect on this past year, really made it a good one for Panther Athletics?
We're very fortunate to have another good year in Panther Athletics. The first thing I always think about is just academically. Our student athletes continue to do great things in the classroom, have a GPA that exceeds the student body, have graduation rates that exceed the student body. That's always first and foremost what we want to get accomplished. Bringing in students that will have a great experience here, graduate, and go off and have great careers. But then when you look in the various fields of competition, just another successful year. You have to start by thinking about championships won with teams like softball with a regular season championship, as well as men's basketball. Then you think about teams that made it to the postseason, teams like football that made it to the FCS playoffs. It's certainly something that we think about off the top of the list, having that happen in the fall. And so that's always going to be an important consideration for us. And you think about women's basketball, making it to the WNIT again and being able to win a game in that situation. You look at our track programs and what they were able to do just here recently with the phenomenal performances. You look back from the indoor perspective as well as outdoor, and we had the most outstanding and the most valuable track athletes, I believe, at both of those championships. And then with Jeff being the assistant coach of the year, winning that for the first time, that's something that we think about as well. I think about our wrestling program. I believe we had 8 student athletes that qualified this year, so I know we want to continue to have that kind of success, be able to have multiple All-Americans, but Coach Schwab does a great job, and he's just created a great foundation for us. I think about student athletes like Taylor Hogan, who is a two-sport athlete, who's in a position that won a championship from a diving standpoint as a diver of the year, and then regular season from a softball standpoint. You can't help but think about Trevor Penning and his ability to go in the first round, and also thinking about Isaiah Weston and the shot that he's going to get with the Cleveland Browns. So for us, just another phenomenal year with great performances, and I think Panther supporters can be really proud.
The world is always changing, and college athletics, especially in the last month or two, seems to really be shifting. How does that impact a school like UNI?
We're certainly keeping track of all the changes that are happening. Everybody's talking about name, image, and likeness. They're talking about the one-time transfer exception. They're talking about the transfer portal, things that obviously have an impact on us. One of the things that I've said as we've gone on the Panther Caravan is we have to continue to be who we are. We certainly have to respond to these changes and challenges, but we've gotten to this place because we feel like we have a good formula for success. And it starts with our coaches and with our student athletes and getting the right types of student athletes to come in here and to really do their best to have success. And so we have to have a balanced approach. I don't think there's any one silver bullet that's going to determine whether or not you have success. We have to get the right student athletes with the right coaches. We have to do the right things to support them. We have to give them good facilities. We have to make sure that the amenities that they need to have success are in place. So we're certainly going to pay attention to these changes, but at the same time, we're not going to panic. We're going to make the adjustments that are necessary, and we're going to continue to move forward and have success.
Because the foundation is already set.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that's always been the case here, I think, at the University of Northern Iowa. We have a good foundation. We have great coaches in place, and as long as you have that, you have a chance to have success.
Always love talking to you, and we still have David for a couple more segments here as we recap the year for UNI Athletics here on Panther Sports Talk. Stick around for more, coming at you right after this.